distance relay. Okay, so here this distance relay generally used for the protection of the transmission lines. In the distance relays, we are having three types of relays. First one is the impedance relay, and second one is reactance relay, the third one is Moore relay, very important relay, Moore relay. Okay, so distance relays generally used for the transmission lines, and we are having three types of relays. First one is the impedance relay, second one is reactance relay, third one is the Moore relay. So we'll see one by one. First one is impedance relay. If you take any relay, to analyze the relay we are using universal torque equation only. So here let us consider the universal torque equation first, that we know very well. T is equal to K1 into I square plus K2 into V square plus K3 into V into I into cos theta minus tau plus K. This is the universal torque equation. So here for the impedance relay, the current parameter is positive. So you need to have the impedance. So you must have voltage and current components. So therefore K2E is negative here, and K3 is 0, and the restraining component K also 0. So from this, the impedance torque can be written as, the impedance relay torque equation can be written as K1 into I square minus K2 into V square. So this is the torque equation for an impedance relay. So here the operating torque is produced by this current component or current unit, and the restraining torque is produced by this voltage unit. So operating torque is produced by current component, and restraining torque is produced by the voltage component. So therefore this relay, the impedance relay, is called as voltage restrained over current relay. Okay, so why? Because in the torque equation, current component is producing operating torque, and voltage component is producing the restraining torque. So that's why this relay is called as, the impedance relay is called as, very important bit in the competitive examination, impedance relay is also called as, from the torque equation only we have to tell this answer. That means voltage restrained over current relay, voltage restrained over current relay, because restraining torque is produced by this voltage component, and operating torque is produced by this current component. That's why this is called as voltage restrained over current relay. And how this impedance relay is operating means, first one, under threshold condition, the net torque is equal to 0. Under threshold condition, the net torque will be 0, that we know very well. T is equal to 0, that means 0 is equal to K1 into I square minus K2 into V square. So here this one is nothing but K1 into I square, which is equal to K2 into V square. So if I am writing for impedance, because we have to write in terms of V and I. So therefore this will be K1 by K2. K2 is produced by the voltage component, restraining component, and here V by I is equal to under root of K by K2, K1 by K2. That means V by I is nothing but impedance. So this is called the set impedance. Set impedance can be written as under root of K1 by K2. This is the impedance, set impedance of the impedance relay. So this can be adjustable by adjusting the values of K1 and K2. Z value can be adjusted by adjusting the values of K1 and K2. So how can you adjust the K1? K1 can be adjusted by adjusting the number of turns in the current coil, because it is related to current coil, current component. So that K1 can be adjusted by adjusting the number of turns in the current coil. Similarly, K2 can be adjusted by adjusting the number of turns in the voltage coil. That's how you can adjust K1 and K2. By having this adjustment, you can adjust the set impedance value. So when this is under threshold condition, you have defined the set impedance. So when the relay will be operating, means when the operating torque is greater than 0, then the relay will be operating. That means operating torque is greater than restraining torque. That means K1 into I square is greater than K2 into V square. This is like this. So directly I am writing V by I from this equation is less than under root of K1 by K2. Here we know under root of K1 by K2 is called Z set impedance, and this is the impedance which is seen by the impedance relay. So I am categorizing like Z seen by the impedance relay is less than Z set value of the impedance relay, then the relay will be operated. So this is also an important condition. So when the relay is operating means when the Z seen is less than Z set value, then the relay will be operated. Okay, and we know from this equation 1, that means the Z set value, we know the value of Z set, which can be written as under root of K1 by K2. Okay, so here it is nothing but a constant. The Z set value is nothing but a constant. How can you have the Z set value? Under root of R square plus X square is nothing but Z. Okay, so here this is a constant, so I can write this is Z set value, so that the value of R will be R set and X will be X set. So here this Z set is a constant, so I could write like this: R set square plus X set square is equal to some constant C square. Am I correct? Because this Z set is a constant value which can be written as in terms of resistance and reactance as R plus Jx, then the magnitude of Z can be written as R square plus X square. So this is a set value which is a constant value from this K1 and K2. So here I can write Z set is equal to R plus Jx, so that R set square plus X set square is equal to some constant C set square. So this equation is nothing but it is the equation of a circle with center at origin. Okay, with the center at origin and the radius of Z set, with the radius of Z set, that means C. So here this equation is representing the circle. So my impedance relay characteristic equation, my impedance relay characteristics can be explained by using a circle diagram here, by representing the circle. This is XR diagram of the impedance relay. This is X and this is R. So here the impedance relay is nothing but it is a circle. It is a circle. Okay, so inside the circle with center C. So this is your operating zone of the impedance relay. This is the operating zone of the impedance relay. Operating zone of the impedance relay. And this is the not operating zone, NOZ. Outside the circle is the not operating zone of the impedance relay. Not operating zone of the impedance relay. Okay, so here The conclusions. What are the conclusions from this impedance relay? Means conclusion number 1. Conclusions. First one. If the impedance seen by the relay is less than the impedance of the relay, set value of the relay, then the relay will be operating. So this is the first conclusion. When Z seen is less than the Z set value, then the relay will be operating. And the operation of the relay depending upon both resistance and reactance seen by the relay, because Z set is nothing but it is R set plus J into X set. So here the operation of the relay depending upon both the resistance value and inductance or reactance value seen by the relay. So that is also one another conclusion. So this impedance relay is depending upon R set value and as well as X set value of the relay, and it does not have any inherent directional properties. Does not have any inherent directional properties. That means, as we know that the direction relay will be operating based on the direction of the flow of current through the relay. So that is a directional relay. That is the property of the direction relay. So here the distance relay does not have any inherent properties, so that it is not a inbuilt directional property. If you want to make this distance relay with a directional relay, you have to add your direction relay in series with the relay, so that the distance relay will be acting like a directional relay also. So impedance relay is not having the inbuilt properties of the directional relay properties, so therefore it is not a directional relay like this. If you want to make this relay as a direction relay, you have to add your direction relay with respect to this impedance relay. Okay, so how can you say that it is not the directional relay? You cannot say blindly, because if the direction relay means, as per the discussion in the previous session, the direction relay characteristics are like this. Okay, so the direction relay characteristics are like this. If the operating zone is in the third quadrant, okay, we should not have the operating zone in the third quadrant for the direction relay. So operating zone is like this in the directional relay properties. We have seen in the previous sessions in the directional relay properties, there should not be a zone in the third quadrant, therefore it can be called as a directional relay. But whereas in this case, in this RX diagram, we are having the operating zone in third quadrant, so therefore it is not a directional relay. So whereas if you are having the operating quantities in the first zone, so that will be a directional relay. We cannot say like that. It should not have the operating zone in the third quadrant, then it can be called as a directional relay. And if you are considering this relay, impedance relay is having the third quadrant operation, therefore it is not the directional relay. Okay, so that is related to directional impedance relay. If you want to make this impedance relay as a directional relay, you have to add your directional relay with respect to the impedance relay. The second one, reactance relay. Reactance relay, same from the universal torque equation, which is nothing but k1 into I square plus k2 into v square plus k3 into v into I into cos theta minus tau plus k. This is the universal torque equation. For the reactance relay, you should have k1 as positive component and k2 will be 0, and k3 is the positive or negative, and k4 or k is equal to 0. So this power unit is having negative component and the current unit is having positive component. So this is your reactance relay. So here the torque equation can be written as k1 into I square minus k3 into v into I into cos theta minus tau. Okay, that means the current unit is providing operating torque and the power unit or a directional unit is providing restraining torque. Okay, here the current unit is providing operating torque, the directional unit is providing a restraining torque. That is the meaning. It is not the meaning like it is not a directional relay, as it is providing the restraining torque, the directional unit or a power unit, it is not a directional relay. Okay, so how and why we will see. Here the current unit is providing operating torque and the power unit is providing restraining torque, or a directional unit is providing restraining torque. So therefore this reactance relay can also called as so these names are important when you consider the competitive examinations. The directional relay is also called as directional restrained overcurrent relay. Directional restrained overcurrent relay. Directional restrained overcurrent relay. Okay. If tau is equal to 90 degrees, what happens to this torque equation? If tau is equal to 90 degrees, then the torque equation will be k1 into I square minus k3 into vi cos theta minus 90 degrees. That can be written as torque equation is equal to k1 into I square minus k3 into v into I into sin theta. It is nothing but the reactive power component. So here the reactance relay is also called as the reactive power restrained overcurrent relay. What we have called the reactance relay, it is called as directional restrained overcurrent relay, or it is a power component. Which power it is it is a reactive power. So that the another name of the reactance relay, reactance power restrained overcurrent relay. Okay. The component K3 is having two names. First one is a power component, or another one directional component. If you are representing it as a directional component, then it can be called as directional restrained overcurrent relay, or if you are representing in terms of power component, then it can be called as a reactive power restrained overcurrent relay. So these are the two important names for the reactance relay. Under threshold condition, torque is equal to 0. That means operating torque is equal to restraining torque. That means k1 into I square is equal to k3 into v into I into sin theta. Okay. Here v into I into sin theta divided by I square is equal to k1 by k3, like that. V by I sin theta, this one cancelled out. V by I sin theta is equal to k1 by k3. So here, what is this Vi from the impedance diagram? This is R, this is X, this is Z, this is theta. This V by I can be called as Z sin theta. Z sin theta is equal to k by k3. Or from this triangle, what is the sin theta? Sin theta is equal to x by z. So here z into sin theta can be represented as x by z into x by z is equal to k by k3. And this z and z will be gets cancelled out. Therefore your reactance relay reactance can be x by x3. This is the reactance relay x. When the relay is operating, so this is your value of reactance k by k3. So when the relay is operating, when operating torque is greater than 0, the relay will be operating. That means operating torque is more than the restraining torque. That means k1 into I square is more than k3 into v into I into sine theta. Simply I am writing here v by I sine theta is less than k by k3. This is I'm directly writing, as we know how to write this, v by I can be z and sine theta will be x by z is less than, this is x set value which we already discussed in the threshold condition. So therefore x seen by the relay is less than x set, then the relay will be operating. So in the case of impedance relay, when the relay is operating, when the z seen is less than z set, the relay is operating here. Similarly, in case of impedance relay, in case of reactance relay, the reactance seen by the relay is less than x set value, then the relay will be operating. So here the value of x set, we know the value of x set is equal to k by k3 is nothing but it is representing a straight line which is parallel to the resistance axis. So the XOR diagram of the reactance relay can be represented as this is R, this is X. So it is a straight line which is parallel to the resistance value, because the x set can be written as k by k3. X set is equal to k by k3, and the equation 2, x is less than x set value, x seen is less than x set. So this is the x set value, that means this is the x set value. When the relay is operating, when the x seen is less than the x set value, that means x seen is less than the x set value, means this is the operating zone of the reactance relay, then only the relay is operating here. X seen is less than x set value here, this is the operating zone. So entire OZ is nothing but operating zone, and the remaining thing is not operating zone, NOZ, non-operating zone here. Okay, so entire this thing is the operating zone, not only these two quadrants, all these quadrants below this line, below this x set line is a operating zone only. So here this operating zone, it consisting the operating zone in third quadrant. But what is the condition for a directional relay? For a direction relay, it should not have the operating zone in third quadrant, but whereas the reactance relay is having the operating zone in the third quadrant. So blindly you can say that the reactance relay is not a directional relay. The reactance relay is not a directional relay. Is not a directional relay. Similarly, the impedance relay is also not a directional relay. So these are the 2 points that we need to remember. So what are the conclusions from this reactance relay? First one, the reactance seen by the relay is less than the set value, then the relay will be operating, and the operation of the relay is only depending upon the reactance seen by the relay, but not on resistance seen by the relay. Whereas in case of impedance relay, it is depending upon both resistance and as well as reactance, but here in the reactance relay only reactance. Third one, the operation of the relay is independent of the resistance seen by the relay. It is not having any dependency on resistance. That's what we have discussed just now. And then definitely the fourth point is the reactance relay is not having any inherent properties of the directional relay, so that it is a non-directional relay. And the third one is Moore relay, very important relay used in case of transmission line, especially long transmission line. Moore relay, very frequently asked bit. Long transmission line, which is the relay used, means it is a Moore relay. So the universal torque equation, k1 into I square plus k2 into v square plus k3 into v into I into cos theta minus tau plus k. This is the universal torque equation. For the Moore relay, k1 is equal to 0, k2 is equal to 0, sorry, k2 is equal to negative component, and k3 is a positive component, and k is equal to 0. Only two components present, k2 and k3. So here k3 is a positive, k2 is a negative. What is that meaning here? So first of all, I will write the equation k3 into v into I into cos theta minus tau minus k2 into v square. This is the equation. That means this power component or a directional component is providing operating torque, and the voltage component is providing restraining torque. Okay, so what is the conclusion from this case? Directional unit or power unit or power component is providing the operational torque. Second one, the voltage component is providing the restraining component. So therefore the another name of this relay is, Moore relay is also called as voltage restrained directional relay. Voltage restrained directional relay. The name itself it indicating that it is a directional relay, whereas the impedance relay and as well as the reactance relay are not directional relays. Okay, so similarly the same concept here. The under threshold condition, operating torque is equal to 0. Under threshold condition, the operating torque is equal to 0. Therefore the net torque is equal to 0. Sorry, the operating torque is equal to the restraining torque. Operating torque we know, k3 into v into I into cos theta minus tau is equal to k2 into v square. So here v square by vi is equal to k3 by k2 cos theta minus tau. Here this one will be cancelled out. V by I can be written as z is equal to k3 by k2 cos theta minus tau. This is called z set value. Set value of the Moore relay. The set value of the Moore relay is z set is equal to k3 by k2 into cos theta minus tau. So when the relay is operating, then when the relay is operating means when there is the value torque T is greater than 0, then the relay operates. That means operating torque is more than restraining torque. That means k3 into v into I cos theta minus tau is more than k2 into v square. So I can write simply v by I is less than k3 by k2 cos theta minus tau. This is the value which is nothing but z set, and this is the value which is seen by the relay. Z seen is less than Z set, the relay operates. The relay operates. What we know here, in impedance relay, when the relay is operating, Z seen is less than Z set. The reactance relay, X seen is less than X set. And the Moore relay, Z seen is less than Z set. But the values of Z set, X set and these Z set are different. What is the value of Z set in the impedance relay? In the impedance relay, the value of Z set is, what is the value of Z set here? In the impedance relay, the value of Z set is k1 by under root of k1 by k2. Okay na? So here the value of Z set is under root of k1 by k2. So here in the X set value, the value of in the reactance, the value of X set is equal to k by k3. So here in this case, what is the value of Z set? it is K3 by K2 into cos theta minus tau. This is the value of Z set in case of Moore relay, right? What is the meaning of this one here? Z set is equal to K3 by K2 into cos theta minus tau. If you observe here, the units of this one should be moles, and this is an angle not having any units, so therefore this must be having ohms. This must be having ohms. So what is the value of K3 by K2 means? It is a circle. It is a circle, and cos theta minus tau is nothing but it is a straight line passing through the origin. So K3 by K2, similarly like in a reactance relay, the value of K by K3 is nothing but a straight line here. The reactance diagram of Moore relay can be explained as like this. This is X, this is R, so this one is like this. So this is your operating zone of Moore relay. Operating zone of Moore relay. Operating zone, and this is not operating zone. This is not operating zone. Similarly here also not operating zone, and here also not operating zone. So you can say directly we are not having the operating zone in the third quadrant, so directly it is called as a directional relay. So Moore relay is a directional relay, whereas impedance relay and as well as reactance relay are not the directional relays. Okay, so here these are the directional relays existing in the power system network. Sorry, these are the distance relays in the power system. Distance relays are of three types: impedance relay, reactance relay, and as well as Moore relay. Impedance relay is not a direction relay, reactance relay is not a direction relay, but the Moore relay is a directional relay, as it is not having the operation in the third quadrant. Okay, so this is regarding the distance relays.